What do I do? They don't see me.
Yay, they see you now. Come on in. Hi, everyone. I don't even know how to start, but hi and welcome to the last Technical Marathon Europe 2015 Hangout. As you all should know by now, my name is Renata. I work here in London in the Technical Marathon global team. And I think you should know that I have a really special guest next to me. So Sarah is also here with me, and oops, as you probably heard or saw it on Facebook, we are with a few connectivity issues. So we're gonna do like a combined presentation today, and I hope you're all actually be able to listen to me. Because of all our issues, I was gonna ask you if you do face any difficulties, if our sound is with any issues, just please send a message and let us know. We are going to follow today the same process as we always do. So please submit your questions with your name, team name, and country that you're from. I have been practicing how to say some of the team names, so I'll probably be better this time. We're going to give you some extra minutes. We know we were a bit late, so let's just wait another couple of minutes to see if we have more people joining. But please keep submitting your questions. We already have a question from Ralph from Schluckspecht. See, I've been practicing. So yeah, we can see some more people coming in, and we're going to start in just a couple of minutes. So let me run through the presentation and how we're going to run our Hangout today. Oh, we have our special guest. Gilles just joined us as well. So that's awesome. Thanks, Gilles. As you probably know, the dynamic today is a little bit different. We have been facing some technical difficulties with the Hangout. Let's all blame it on technology. But my name is Renata. I work in the Technical Marathon global team here in London. And I'm here together with Sarah, who at the moment is here also in London. So that's quite unusual. You should all know Sarah from the Facebook group and all the events. And this is how we're going to work today. So Sarah's going to take us through a really important presentation with the main logistics details that you need to know before going to the event in Rotterdam. And then we're going to talk about a little bit about the Off-Track Awards. And then we're going to open up for questions, as simple as this. So we can see a bunch of people joining now. And for you to submit your questions, you should do exactly how we always do. So please add your name, team name, and country that you're from. And if you do have some important technical questions for Gilles to answer, also please let us know your category, so if you're prototype or urban concept team, and your fuel type, because that will have an impact on the answer, of course. So just tell us if you are better electric, gasoline, diesel, whatever type of car you are. What else, Sarah? Do you want to say anything else before we start? We're just giving you a few more minutes before the teams join.
Right. I just want to say hi and welcome to this Hangout. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties we were having at first, but at least you get the two of us on one screen, so there you go. Two for the price of one.
You cannot get much better than this one.
No, we're just waiting for a couple more people to join before we start the presentation.
Yep.
Just remember that even if you don't make it or you can't watch it entirely, it will be turned into a YouTube video that you can check out later anytime you want. So don't worry if you're missing some of it.
Cool. And again, just a few reminders on how we're going to work today. So Sarah's going to open up with a quick presentation, giving you a little bit more details on the Off-Track Awards and logistics from now until the competition in Rotterdam. And then we're going to open up for questions. So whenever you submit your questions, and they're already coming in, so thanks everyone, but please include name, team name, your country, and then of course, if you have a technical question, just please include your category, so if you're prototype or urban concept, and then your fuel type, so battery electric, diesel, gasoline, whatever it is. And Gilles, we will know, our technical expert, is also here in London, so he might be able to help you with those questions. We're 17 minutes in, so I think it's about time we start. So this will also give you some more time to adjust and think about your questions. As I mentioned, we're both here today in London, and Sarah will take you through the presentation. So I'm going to share my screen, and Sarah will give you more details. As I also mentioned before, because we are having some issues today, if you do feel like it's been difficult for you to listen to whatever we're saying or to view it, please just drop us a message, and we'll be able to try and fix it for you. But now Sarah's going to take you through the slides. So just 1 second, and we'll be with Sarah.
Right, just waiting for the presentation to open up. Just a few seconds. And it's taking a bit longer than expected, but I'm sure it will be fine. Still waiting for the screen share to work, and then I'll be able to do the presentation. And the screen is now frozen.
This is the worst. Oh, I think we have it there. So,
right.
Yes.
Hopefully everyone can see the screen now, the presentation.
Okay.
Sorry, folks, we're still having some trouble. Should work soon. The PDF. Okay, so first off, I wanted to talk to you guys about the Off-Track Awards. As you know, you can apply to the Off-Track Awards in phases 3 and 4. Well, actually, phase 4 is dedicated to the Off-Track Awards. On the registration website, you know well by now. There are 6 Off-Track Awards you can apply to, so Comms, Shell Helix Tribology, the Design Award, Technical Innovation, Safety, and Perseverance and Spirit of the Event Award. As you know, teams can apply for a maximum 2 awards, or if you're applying for the Safety Award, you can add that, so 3 in total, including the Safety Award plus 2 others. As you know, it all has to be relevant and related to the work that you've been carrying out during the year for Shell Eco-Marathon, and you cannot win again if it's the same thing as last year. So you have to innovate and be different. Your application has to be different from the previous winning submission if you've won an off-track award before. All teams shortlisted for an award will get a visit by the judges during the event. So always make sure you have at least 1 team member in the paddock to talk to the judges. I think you'll get more information on that later on, just so you know on what days the judges will be walking through the paddocks. You can get more information on what you need to submit in Chapter 1, and as well as in our Facebook posts and newsletters. Make sure that all the applications are submitted via the online registration system, and if you click beneath, you'll have the link to submit your application. And please remember that the deadline is on Monday, May 11th. Very important. We won't be accepting any submissions after that, and I think that's more than enough time for you guys to do a great job and submit your registration. Next point was the schedule. There are a couple things I want you to be aware of now. You will be getting a final schedule once you arrive on site. We didn't want to share a complete schedule with the race times because those are usually subject to change. So instead of having several schedules that aren't all the same on site, we're trying to reduce the number of schedules that we're sending out. These are just non-related to the race, but still important for you to know of. So team managers can come register their team from Monday, May 18th at 11. Campsite registration opens the same day, but at 12 this time. Please, 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 this year, make sure you only arrive on the Monday. The campsite won't be open on Sunday night, so no exceptions. Don't come any earlier than Monday. That's when we open campsite registration. Technical inspection, which you are all waiting for, of course, opens on Tuesday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The family photo, which we really want all the teams to participate in, will be on the Thursday at 3:30. So please make sure you come for the family photo. It always makes a really nice picture and a nice souvenir for everyone, and it's great if we have all the teams on it. The opening ceremony will be on Friday at 3 o'clock. Hopefully we'll have the same weather as last year, and it will be just as much fun. The student party will take place again this year on the Saturday night, just like last year, at 6 o'clock in the evening. The awards ceremony will take place on Sunday from 4:30, so please make sure you stay for the awards ceremony, because as you know, the Perseverance and Best Spirit Award can be given to any team, and it's best if you're actually there to receive the award. So please make sure you stay for the awards ceremony, especially since the next day is a holiday in a lot of countries. It would be excellent if everyone can stay for the awards ceremony. And please remember that, as usual, you have to leave the campsite on Monday before 12. No staying after that, because there will be another event right after ours. So make sure you leave before 12 on the Monday. Concerning accommodation, as usual, you will be able to camp for free next to the Ahoy. Make sure that you bring all of your own camping gear. We won't be giving you any camping gear, so make sure you bring your own tents, the mattresses, and everything else you need to camp. Also very important, no campers, caravans, trailers, motorhomes, any motorized vehicles will not be authorized on the campsite, as usual, nor on the Ahoy parking lot. And this year we're not making any exceptions. So if you do want to use a camper van, then you have to find your own campsite to camp on, but we won't be expecting any motorized vehicles, and you won't be allowed to stay on the Ahoy parking lot. Just a quick reminder, because I think a lot of teams tend to forget, a maximum of 20 people are allowed to camp per team. So please make sure you respect those rules. If there are any extra members, or if you don't want to camp, then you have to find your own accommodation. I'll be happy to help you find a hotel, but I won't be doing the booking, and it will be at your own cost. So obviously the best thing is to camp near the Ahoy. Also this year, which is new, the camping spaces are right in the entrance of the campsite on the left-hand side, the first ones that are right next to the first aid tent and across from the bathrooms and toilets are in priority reserved for younger teams that are under 18, because it's a calmer part of the campsite. So please make sure you keep that in mind. For teams that are with people who are over 18, please try to take the other spaces and leave those ones for the younger teams. The campsite in itself. Every team will be given a socket, an electric socket for their tent, for their team. We only have one per team, so make sure you don't bring fridges and microwaves and washing machines. I don't know. Make sure you don't overload on electricity over there, because you only get one single socket. However, you will have the large covered cooking tent again, with electric hobs, microwaves, and hot water boilers, chairs and tables, so you can cook and eat in a covered, dry area. Of course, outside you'll still be able to barbecue, so we accept coal and gas barbecues. Please make sure you get your gas barbecues certified by the safety team. You can only use it if it's been approved. If not, then you have to seek out a safety team member to get it approved. Of course, there's a toilet and shower area. There will be lighting after dark, just as last year. The main lights will remain on. And when you arrive and when you leave, a golf cart and trailer will be available in P3 to help you unload your stuff so you can set up in the campsite. Parking. This year, just like last year, when you arrive, you will park in P3. I do want to insist on the fact that P3 is not a permanent parking lot for the participants. As soon as you're done unloading and you're ready with P3, you need to drive around the Ahoy to the P4, where you can park permanently. We won't be accepting any participant vehicles to stay in P3, so make sure you notify everyone in your team about that. You will be able to cross from P3 to P4 or leave P4 until Wednesday, May 20th at 1 o'clock. But just remember that you can't exit or enter P4 when there are things going on the track. Sorry, my screen is frozen. Okay. Right, so registration process. So once you arrive, you park in P3, or if you don't have a car, just proceed directly either to the campsite if you're camping, or to the main hall, the plaza, for registration. So if you're camping, first register at the campsite. Make sure that the team manager is there and they will verify the team list. Make sure there's no more than 20 people, and then they will give you the red campsite access badges so you can start setting up in the campsite. The team manager, and I only need the team manager this year. I don't need the driver and reserve driver to come. I only need the team manager to come register his or her team in the Ahoy main entrance. We need the driver and reserve driver only to register at the technical inspection, where we'll take your picture and give you your bracelets. At registration, we'll give the team manager the team badges, the stickers for your vehicle, and the goodie bags. Also, please remember there's only 10 goodie bags per team, so please avoid trying to get more because we only have enough for 10 per team. Once everyone has their badge, then you only once everyone has their badge, you have access to Hall 1 and the paddocks to start working on your vehicle. So once you're done unloading in P3, drive around and go to P1, to the back of Hall 1 to unload your stuff, and then park in P4 permanently. This is a little map just to show you how it's going for those teams who haven't come to Rotterdam before. So the big number 1 corresponds to P3, where you will be arriving, which is next to the road. And then the registration for the campsite will be there as well on the left-hand side when you enter. Registration is where the little REG is on the map, and then the dotted lines show where you should drive around. Load out your stuff on the big number 2 behind Hall 1, and then you can park in P4, which is where the 3 is. Now about food and meals, which I know is very important to you students. As per previous years, we will be serving a warm dinner in the Ahoy every evening in the student lounge, which is in Hall 4. For that, you need to buy the food tickets on the eShop beforehand. One meal costs €10.25 per meal and per person. You can order them on the eShop and pick them up in the eShop desk in Hall 1 during the event. But please make sure you buy them in advance so we know how many meals we have to serve. They will be available on the eShop in the coming weeks. You'll be notified as soon as they're available. You can also buy food at the supermarket, the Winkelcentrum, which is right across the street, and there's always a McDonald's not too far away. Vehicle deliveries. We will be providing more information on vehicle deliveries soon with the delivery address. I'll have that information for you in the participant handbook, which will be published next week, hopefully. You'll be notified as soon as it's available for you to read. However, in any case, I say this in advance, please make sure you mark your crates with all of the required contact information. Most importantly, your team race number, the race number, not ID number, race number, and university name. Team paddocks. So, new rule this year, all of the hydrogen and CNG vehicles will be set up in garages outside of the Hall 1. This is mostly for safety reasons, following several incidents. And we really want to make sure everyone is safe, which is always our goal. That is why this year hydrogen and CNG will all be outside of Hall 1. Therefore, you will get bigger tents, so you get 5 meters by 5 meter tents. All the other energy type vehicles will be inside Hall 1, and your garages will be 4 by 5 meters. Hall 1 opens at 6:30 a.m. and closes at midnight. Same thing, you will be asked to leave Hall 1 as soon as midnight strikes. And as for the outside tents, we will be cutting off electricity. So please don't try to sneak back into your tent after midnight. It's not any use. And as usual, there will be a welding tent right next to Hall 1, behind Hall 1, where some of the other team tents will be. There will be a dedicated staff member there to help you with welding and heavier repairs. And paddocks will be open to visitors from Thursday, May 21st. Just last slide, some important reminders that I really want to insist on. In the team list for Phase 3, please be 100% sure that the names that you have in that list are accurate and are the actual people that will be in Rotterdam for the event. It's very important. I really need to know exactly who's on site. So please make sure that the list is 100% accurate. I will ask you to verify it again when you arrive for registration, but it makes everyone's lives easier if it's correct from the first go. For the invoice document in Phase 3, please don't enter the travel allowance amount or the PO number. Those are information that we enter in the invoice later on. We just need you to fill in the second half of the document. That's what's instructed in the registration system, so I think it's pretty clear. Please make sure you only enter the second half of the document with your bank details. That's all we need from you in that document. Don't enter the PO number or the amount. In the campsite, I really want to insist, no motorized camping vehicles, neither on the campsite or the parking lot. No exceptions. 20 people max per team to camp. And concerning visas, those teams that need visas to enter the Netherlands, please make sure you get this done quickly. I sent the visa invitation letters a month ago. I think that gives you plenty of time to take care of it. Please make sure you do it well in advance. It avoids stress for you, and it makes your life so much easier if you do it earlier on. Same thing for transport. That was it from my side. Now, up to you. You can go ahead and ask any questions.
Okay, so we're back, and I really hope everybody could follow the slides. So again, unfortunately, we still have some issues here with connectivity and the Wi-Fi mainly. So this is how we're going to do. I'm going to split the question you're submitting between logistics and technical. So the first round of questions I'll let Sarah answer, and then we're going to invite Gilles, and he'll come around and answer the technical questions. So we can start with the technical ones this time. Gilles, do you want to come by and say hello? See?
Hello.
We have him here too. But just to try and make the most out of the size of my screen, I will select the logistic questions first, and the rules are the same. So you probably just saw the presentation from Sarah, and then now we're opening up for questions. Sorry, and this is how you have to do. Just include your name, team name, and country that you're from. And then, of course, if your question is technical, so for Gilles, make sure you include your category, so prototype or urban concept, and then your energy type, so gasoline, ethanol, whatever it is. So now let's open up for questions. We have a few questions coming in, so thanks everyone that actually posted them. But now that you actually saw the presentation, we can start fitting in more questions. And again, Ralph, I know that you submitted the first question, but as the technical questions will be answered just in a few minutes, don't worry, I haven't forgotten about you. Okay, let's start with the question from the Shark team from Hungary. Hungary diesel prototype about radio communication. What kind of radio will be used? As far as I know, PMR has 8 channels, so more than 100 teams will use this 8 channels. Or what is the solution for radio communications, if any? Sarah?
Hi, Adam. That's an excellent question. I don't have the answer to that one.
Yeah.
I'll definitely write it down and make sure that you get your answer. I don't know how it's been working previous years. I know a lot of teams do use their own radios as well as staff. I'm not sure we're using the same channels though. So let me check and I'll get back to you on that.
A lot of teams use also mobile phone for communication between drivers and team around the track.
So again, what we'll do is we'll get a list of all the questions that we weren't able to answer, and we'll provide you with better answers on the Facebook group. So keep an eye out on the group. But thanks both of you. And now, again, let's go to a logistics question. And I think I can even answer this one. So the question is from Mateusz from Silesian University of Technology from Poland, Team Smart Power. What is the best form of the off-track award application? At the registration website, the information is that it should be a file no bigger than 5 megabytes and no other information about the content. Well, yeah, well, it's sort of included in Chapter 1. So under each of the awards, we'll have an indication of what's the best format of your submission. And I'd say overall, if you can print a PDF file, that's the easiest way, because you can do a big comprehensive document and just print one single PDF with everything that's included. That's the rule for the Communications Award, for instance. I manage that one, so you should do that. Now, with the Tribology Award, for instance, there is a form that you need to download and fill in, and then resubmit the form with the questions answered. And then, of course, that will be the same thing for technical innovation and design. You need to do an application, print out a PDF, and then submit that to the registration website. Then, of course, the perseverance and team spirit, you don't apply to that one. So I hope I was able to answer your question. Then, okay, now let's get another one. Good question from Green Team 20 from the Netherlands. I think this will be quite popular at the event this year. We saw some in Asia, but let's see if we have answers for you. Urban Concept, Hydrogen from the Netherlands. Are we allowed to film during the event using drones?
Sorry, no. No, not at all. You're not allowed to use drones. It's for safety reasons, mostly, and also just for legal reasons. You're not allowed to. So, sorry.
It was a sharp answer. But you can do is try to find different ways of getting footage. So maybe it's not going to be using drones, but try to maybe have a camera connected to the car or to your driver. You can have some really nice footage being done with a GoPro camera, for instance, but not using drones. We have more questions coming in. Thank you, everyone. Now a question from Michelle from Team UPS INSA. We are sharing a bus with Team Ecomon, I think, and hence we would like to share tools and equipment to save space on the bus. Is there a possibility to have our paddocks next to each other?
Salut, Michelle. Actually, yes. I don't know if you noticed in Phase 3, under the parking category, we ask you if you have a paddock placement wish, if you have a sister team that you would like to be next to. That's where you enter the race number of your sister team, or Ecomoom in this case. And please make sure Ecomoom do the same thing with your race number on their registration. I can't guarantee that you'll be next to each other, especially if you're not from the same energy types, but we'll definitely do our best to make sure you're close to each other.
Cool. Thank you. And we actually have a question about the same topic, again from Green Team 20, so thanks. You guys are always joining everything, so thank you. So they're hydrogen, so of course their paddock, as Sarah just mentioned, will be located outside. And they say, if hydrogen teams are located outside of Hall 1, how will this work with our sister teams? Will they also be situated outside, even if they aren't CNG or hydrogen?
No, we really just want hydrogen and CNG outside. So if one of your sister teams is hydrogen or CNG, then they'll be outside and you'll be inside. The best we can do is try to make your garage close to an exit and their tent close to that exit to make it as easy as possible. But we're not giving any outside spaces to non-hydrogen or CNG teams this year.
Thank you. And then another question that I can also answer, which is quite unusual, is from Tard team from Hungary, Diesel Prototype. Can we get visitor tickets for the event? Can our guests visit the paddocks? And the question is, to some extent, yes. So as you know, Shell Eco-Marathon Europe has also the Shell Energy Lab. So it's a really fun area with attractions about the future of energy and mobility. And that's open to the public. So the only thing you need to do is go to shellenergylab.nl and request your tickets. Each person can request up to 10 tickets. So you're more than welcome to invite your family and friends to go and see it. There is an area that sort of touches base and it's sort of connected to the paddock, so they will be able to see part of the teams in action. Now, in the paddock itself and really close to the boxes, that's really up to the teams. So we do need to respect their privacy, and also because it's a working area and a lot of teams will be working with electrical parts for safety reasons. Not everyone will have access to that area, but of course you're more than welcome to join and mingle with them in the Shell Energy Lab if you want. So don't forget shellenergylab.nl, go there and request tickets for everyone. Okay, now, there's a question again from Ralph. So logistic questions, and I'll try to say Schluckspecht.
Schluckspecht, yes,
good. I made it. So the question is, are cotton racing suits allowed?
They need to be fire retardant, yeah?
Yeah. Not, yes, fire retardant, not fire, what is the word? Not Nomex racing suit made for Formula 1 or something like this, but
yeah, they cannot be
fire retardant.
Yes, they need to be at least fire retardant. So any go-kart suit, things like that, those work fine. Just cotton won't be enough. That won't pass safety inspection.
I'll read the rules. So that should be in chapter 1 as well. Now, another question. This is more technical, so Gilles, you might want to get closer. This one from Simon. Simon? Did I say Simon? Simeon, I think. Sorry, maybe you should tell me how to say your name, and next time I'll do it really properly. From Team Automobilist from University of Rus, Bulgaria. Better electric. Is a BMS necessary for, is it Life 3 batteries?
Lipo batteries. It's not necessary, it's mandatory. Just make a difference. If you have a look at the rules, especially article about all the battery electric, Lipo family battery is mandatory for battery electric vehicle, and the BMS is mandatory.
It's all in the rules. Also, if you still have doubts, watch the BMS video on the tech tips. It's there on YouTube. So that answer is probably answered there in the video. And if you have any specific questions about this, you can always drop us a direct email. But now let's go with the technical question as we opened up for questions. Again from Ralph. So Schluckspecht, again, made it. Better Electric from Germany. I think are they Urban Concept or Prototype? Prototype?
Urban Concept, make a difference maybe?
Anyway, we are uncertain about the position of the Joule meter because we have to use just one battery. Does the energy of safety devices influence in the calculation?
It's already an answer we provide for a lot of teams, and also in the previous hangout. The Joule meter is placed after all safety device, especially, for example, for Urban Concept. We make the measurement after the light, the horn, all the safety device. And yes, for Prototype, it's the same for the horn. It's before the Joule meter.
Okay, hope that answered your question, Ralph. Now let's get another question here from Harry, I guess. Harry Vincent, or Vincent, I think. Harry Vincent from Team Ecomotion from France. How can we blow up the tires during the event? Can we use a compressor, or does Michelin let us have that possibility with their own tools on site?
Yes, you can have a simple hand pump or anything you want to make to adjust the pressure of your tire. It's on your charge, and Michelin it's just here on site to help you to define the best pressure maybe, but not to blow up your tires.
Actually, they're on the Michelin stand this year. It's not 100% sure, so this is an if. There might be a specific pump for your radials, so maybe this year you'll be able also to blow up the tires at the Michelin stand if you only bring the tires, not the whole car. But I'm just saying that's a maybe, so you will have confirmation of that soon.
Yeah, maybe you can contact Sarah again closer to the event, and she'll be able to confirm that for you. Let's us get another question. More questions coming. So thank you, everyone. Again, please include name, team name, country, and then if your question is technical, what's your category type and energy type as well. Let's get a question now from Greece, from Team Poseidon. This is John. So hi, John. Our aluminium tube chassis is extended a little further than driver's knees, thus the rest of the legs are exposed. It is mandatory to build a subframe to cover them, or the whole of the car is enough?
The driver must be protected by the frame, yes, but the best to give you a clear answer, could you provide some pictures, the driver inside of the car, and send pictures to Sarah. She forwarded to me to give you a yes or no.
Sarah, can you maybe just remind, well, John, about what's the email address that he should send the pictures to?
So the emails, any technical questions you should send to me are at the email address shell-eco.marathon@shell.com.
Thank you. And then now we have another technical question. Thanks everyone who are submitting the questions. From Mash Angers from Angers. Battery electric. Is there a magnetic loop on the track to implement an onboard lap counter for the driver?
No.
Simply
no.
It's your job to count the lap.
It's your job to count the lap and to be in time. We have an official timekeeper just to count the time on track between start and finish, but the number of laps and the time is your job to define a strategy.
Yeah, it's your race strategy.
And
so.
yes, take care of this because we have always team running 9 or 11 laps, but it's standard. We had the same in Manila 2 weeks ago.
Yep, it's part of your driving strategy team.
Yeah.
So, okay, another question from Greece. Here, I think it's Kobe. Battery electric. Is it possible for the battery electric to charge without the BMS by charging every cell separately?
No. Simply, you need a battery and the BMS and the charger, all made to work all together. Just be sure it's the same technology, and the technology of the charger is made for your battery. But you need to have the BMS on place to charge the battery because it's simply the equipment to save. With a safe charge.
Thank you. And as we're still talking about battery electric, so again, the question from Team Automobilist from Bulgaria. Can I use the accessory battery? I think he's referring to the charging.
The accessory battery is no more allowed for battery electric. If I am well, we had already communication about that in the newsletter. But send your question to Sarah. We can provide you more documentation about that. But if you have a look at the rules for battery electric, only one main battery, the propulsion battery. No more battery electric. No more accessory battery allowed.
Thank you. Then let's get a question again from Germany, from Ralph. Urban Concept Diesel. Do we have to separate the engine start light from the other backlights, or is it allowed to integrate, for example, in the rear lights?
The best is for the light, starting light, it must be at the top of the car, something we can easily have a look on track from both sides of the track and for control by the marshal on track.
That was an easy answer. And now another question from Michel, from Team UPS Answer, France. The maximum, I guess, pressure indicated for the Michelin radial tires are 5 bars. Some teams exceeded this maximum pressure. Isn't this dangerous?
It's approval pressure from Michelin. To be honest, I would say 5 bars is maximum. Have a discussion with the Michelin on site to have a look if it's possible to have higher pressure. But as always in tires, you have a maximum safety pressure mark on the side of the tires.
Of course, we'd rather have teams respect that maximal pressure for their tires for safety reasons, as you say. I'm not sure we control the pressure in their tires before they go on track, though.
No.
So there isn't really any way for us to control that. We just really need to rely on people being safe and respecting the indications that Michelin gave you.
And of course, it will have an impact on performance on track as well. So you might understand why Michelin actually suggested a certain pressure. They're the tire experts. So I'm pretty sure they know why they suggested you to use that pressure for the tires.
High pressure anyway is not necessarily the best to save fuel, and you have a sort of a compromise between the pressure and or your rims or is set up on the car. Pressure is not only, it's one of the point to save fuel, but it's not only the point to save fuel.
Cool. We have about another 10 minutes that we can be answering your questions, so please keep them coming. But before that, as we always do, I think it's time for Sarah to just remind you of some really important deadlines, particularly because the Off-Track Awards deadline is approaching, together with the dropout deadline. So maybe, Sarah, you can remind them of what to do.
Right, so you have until the end of April, until April 30th, to complete Phase 3. If you can, please submit it before that. It makes it a lot easier for us to verify all the documents, and it gives us some more time. Please make sure everything is done correctly, that the team list is exactly the one representing the people that are coming to Rotterdam. I really only need the names of the people coming, not the other team members that are eventually staying home. So just that team list. Make sure that the terms and conditions are signed. If you do have students that are under 18, make sure that their parents or guardian sign the document for them. And that's really important. And make sure that all applications for the Off-Track Awards are submitted before May 11th.
Yes, and Sarah reminded you of the Off-Track Awards deadline. Let me just remind you that, well, you should all know this by now, but there are no difference between an award that's that you actually get on track or off track. So the prize money is the same for all of them, and you should all put an effort into the Off-Track Awards applications as well. This year, the main two differences, as you probably know, if you read the whole rules, Chapter 1, is in the Communications Award and the Tribology Award. So Tribology Award this year is much easier. The only thing you need to do is download the questions. So there's a form on shell.com, and you should just go there. There are 7 questions, I guess, and you only need to answer the proper questions. They're about lubrication and the whole science that you thought about. So basically, you just need to explain what was the tribology science that you had behind your car. Answer those questions and then apply. And then for the Communications Awards, that's the one that I like the most, but then I'm a bit biased. And what you need to do is put together a really short summary of your communications plan. So just put everything there about sort of all your initiatives to promote your team and your Shell Eco Marathon efforts. And it can be anything from local events, events at your university, your social media campaign, everything. Just put a rationale behind it and submit it, and you can win an off-track award. Who knows? So now let's go to some of our last questions. We'll go back to technical questions. They're coming a lot now. Remember, if you do have any logistics questions, this is the time to submit them to Sarah. It's much better if you do it here because we're answering them to everyone, and that just helps. And it avoids Sarah from answering too many emails with the same question.
Just remember about the off-track awards, and the main thing is not only provide a nice dossier, it's just to think about the car, because to receive the prize, you need at least one valid run on track. It's something very critical sometimes.
That's a very good reminder, Gilles. And if we think about that, before getting a valid run on track, you need to pass technical inspection. So make sure that you're following all the rules. Read chapter 1, watch the tech tips, and then I'm pretty sure you will be in shape to be approved in technical inspection, get a valid run on track, and then win the communications award. That's my favorite one.
Actually, about that, I do have another point. You will be getting participation certificates again next year that you will be able to download directly from the registration website. Just remember that you only get a participation certificate if you pass technical inspection. If you haven't passed technical inspection, you won't get a certificate, so do your best.
Okay, last questions. I'm going to tell you, you have 2 more minutes to submit your questions. Okay, maybe 5. And we'll be here to answer them. So now let's get a question from a team that's really far away from us now, so from Turkey. Team Hydro is from Istanbul. Hello. Urban Concept Hydrogen. Is it necessary to use 21-volt engine start light for hydrogen urban concept vehicles?
No, because you have no engine, you have only electrical motor, and it's the light for starter is only for internal combustion engine category.
That was easy. And now another question from Vincent. From EcoMotion. Can we have precision about the plate under the battery? Dimensions, thickness, materials, and if it just has to be under the battery or all over the electric compartment?
No, it's just something you need under the battery. It's a sort of protection. You need a plate under the battery and just a part of return, just to a sort of box, but not too high, not too for all the battery, just for the bottom of the battery.
And then another follow-up question from EcoMotion about the off-track award, so thank you. For the innovation award, can we, and I'm assuming you mean technical innovation, can we present a different innovations in the same document or just one innovation? Well, I would say the best applications are the ones that focus in one thing. So just think carefully about what you want to present and what will bring you more opportunities of winning. The thing is, the more concise and the more you can actually explain which is relevant to the technical award nomination, I think that will be easier for you. And it's going to be much easier for the judges as well to read whatever you said and to actually be able to see that on site. Because remember, they all read the applications and then we go and see all the teams on site to see if that's actually reflected in your car. So, Sarah, do you have anything else to add?
I think it will reflect much better if you only have one innovation to present that's well presented and well thought of. I don't think it'll be in your advantage to show them several innovations, especially since usually one innovation is more than enough. So just concentrate on one would be my advice.
Yep. And it's about, again, how Gilles said, is about how you present them. So it's much more about the quality of your presentation than about how big it is. So for instance, another really important thing about the off-track awards for everyone, and we just came back from Asia, so we were able to see some new applications this year, is that you follow the brief. So you need to follow exactly what the Chapter 1 rules are actually asking you to do. So for instance, again, I'm going to use the communications award because that's the one I know a little bit better about. But if the summary or the actual rules tell you to submit no more than 500 words or no more than sort of 3-5 pages, if you submit 25 pages, that's not following the brief. So you do have a disadvantage on this. So just read the rules carefully and then submit your grade application. I guess I have time for one more question. Coming from, again, Granting 20 from the Netherlands. Thank you guys for submitting the question. Is there a false floor for the outdoor tent so we can work more comfortably on the ground, or will it be raw concrete?
Good question. I know last year that it was just raw concrete. However, since this year we're making it mandatory for hydrogen and CNG to be outside, I will check what's been planned for the floor. It does make more sense from a safety point of view, even if it rains, that you have a flat and isolated floor from the concrete. So I'll definitely raise that point and make sure that we do something about that. Good point.
Thank you. We're almost reaching the end of our hangout, and I know that we started a little bit later today, so we are going to give you a few more minutes in case you want to submit more questions to us. Now, we're going to do a round of sort of reminders and feedback with the three of us, but I just wanted to give you a little bit more time to submit more and different questions that you have. We are going to be together again in about 2 or 3 weeks in Rotterdam to finalize all the plans. So if you do have any further questions or anything that you thought about after watching us on YouTube, just please make sure you post it on the Facebook group. Everybody can see your question. You might be helping a lot of other teams with your doubt. You can also send an email to Sarah with your question. So as there are no more questions, more of anybody's time. So Gilles, up to you. Any reminders or things that the team should be thinking about?
Just a simple 3-sentence from technical team. The first is read the rules. The second is read the rules. And the third, Sarah, is?
Read the rules.
It's always the same, please. And take the time to compare what you produce in your car with the rules, article by article.
Good. Sarah?
Yeah, Gilles' advice is very good advice. He's been doing it for a long time, so he knows what he's talking about. I actually get a lot of questions that are answered in the rules, Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. So just make sure your whole team reads it, not just the team manager, and make sure everyone reads it, precisely, and even, print them and put them up in the walls of your where you're working, your workshop. It's really useful. Of course, if you have any more questions about logistics, I'm here to help. So you can either post them on the Shell Ecomarathon Europe Facebook group, or send me an email at the shellecomarathon@shell.com. Yeah, I think that's all from my side.
So I'm just going to do another round of reminders, mainly on the deadlines, because I know every year we remind you of all of those, and then Sarah always gets 1 or 2, maybe 5 teams that are a little bit late. So Sarah, what's the deadlines that they need to be aware of before going to Rotterdam?
One important deadline is the dropout deadline. So if you realize you're not going to be able to make it because your vehicle just won't be ready, please make sure you notify me before April 30th. If you fail to tell me that you won't be coming, you will be going on our blacklist. And you don't want to be on the blacklist, believe me, because that means you won't be allowed to participate in 2016. So if you can't come, tell us. It's really important for us. Make sure you tell us. It's just, easier for us to organize, and I think it's just good manners in general. If you're not coming, you tell the host. So please make sure you tell us before April 30th. Phase 3 also closes on April 30th, and you have until May 11th to submit your off-track award applications. Sorry. Yeah, those are the big deadlines.
And I think one important reminder in terms of dates is when you're actually allowed to arrive at the Ahoy.
So please don't arrive on the Sunday. Arrive on the Monday. Campsite opens Monday at noon, 12. So, and team registration will open at 11 a.m. So please arrive on the Monday. There's no point in arriving on Sunday because it won't be open.
And then when the second inspection starts on site this year?
Technical inspection start only on Tuesday afternoon. If you arrive on Monday at 12, it's enough. You have enough time to set up your paddock, and finish your last minute preparation on the car before tech inspection is open.
Yeah, we have a lot of teams this year, so it's a great year for everyone. We reminded you of the deadlines, but let me just tell you, we have 230 teams from 30 different countries, which will be a great way for us to celebrate 30 years of Charlico Marathon in Europe. So I'd just like to remind everyone that you should be following us on Twitter and on Facebook. We'll be trying to do a lot of different social activities for you. So as Sarah mentioned, there is a student party there, and you're all invited to go to the Shell Energy Lab website. But I would just like to encourage everyone to share your progress, whatever you're doing, share your team pictures, everything with us so that we can build a really good season. As you all know, this is the last season in Rotterdam. So after this year, we're going to come to London, where we are now. So let's celebrate. Let's celebrate and do a great party in Rotterdam. Try to have a great event as we did last year. I'm not really sure the weather is going to go with us this year, so let's hope that we get big sunny days. What else? Read the rules. Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 are available on shell.com. The participants handbook will be uploaded next week. What else? If you want, you can always follow the progress of your other colleagues or sort of, I'd say friends. We're all Charlico Marathon family in Asia. A bunch of videos, stories, everything on YouTube, shell.com. And then we have Charlico Marathon Americas coming. Gilles and I are going to be there in Detroit. And then we're going to get ready to go to Rotterdam in May. So as we don't have any more questions from you, and we've been speaking here for about 50 minutes, I'd just like to wish everyone good luck. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. What else? Oh, everything you do, just use hashtag SM2015. I think it's going to be the best thing you can possibly do. We're going to do an online competition as well, so keep an eye out for that. I hear rumors that the students are going to be able to choose the name of the new Charlico Marathon Urban Concept Car, but I cannot say that out loud, so you didn't hear it from me. And I celebrate the 30 years of Charlico Marathon Europe in Rotterdam. See you all there.
Bye-bye.